Hello, welcome back for the part 2 of lesson 4.3, system of equations. Examples. So it says, if Amy has 15 coins totaling $2.70 and the coins are quarters and dimes, how many of each coin does she have? So similar to what we did up here, we're going to have an equation for the number of coins and the equation for amount. So the coins are quarters and dimes, and we know that there's 15 of the coins. And we know that quarters are valued at 25 cents or 0.25. And we know that dimes are 10 cents. And the total is $2.70. And so what we can do is we can use substitution if we want, or we could use elimination. I am going to use substitution and say that quarters equals 15 minus dimes. So 0.25, and then I'm going to replace Q with 15 minus D plus 0.10 D equals $2.70. And I can multiply by 100 to get rid of these decimals. So this is 25 times 15 minus D plus 10 times D equals 270. Okay. So I do need to multiply 25 times D here. Mm, 25 times 15 is 375. Minus 25D plus 10D equals 270. Then when I combine like terms, I get 375 minus 15D equals 270. And then I'm going to subtract 375 from both sides. So it's 270 minus 375. So I get a negative 15D equals 105. And if I divide both sides by a negative 15, we get dimes is 7. I get that there are 7 dimes. That means that there are 8 quarters. So 7 dimes, 8 quarters, and 7 dimes. So I distributed through here once. I just multiplied by 100 to eliminate the decimals. Okay, number 5. It says a woman earns $1,350 in interest from 2 accounts in 1 year. Interest is just a percentage of a value, and it's usually based on time. It says if she has 3 times as much invested at 7% as she does at 6%, how much does she have in each account? Okay, so we have 2 things here. We have the amount invested. So I'm going to say A and B are my 2 accounts where I invested money. And the amount invested total is the total interest. Oh, I see. Okay. She has interest. So she has 7% at 1, 7% of A, we'll say, because that's the percent of A that she earned interest, plus 6% of B. And so that percentage, which is the interest on A, and that percentage, which is the interest on B together, earned her this much in interest, $1,350. And then it says if she has 3 times as much invested at 7%. So then she does it A. So that means that A is 3 times B. So we can substitute that in for A. So 0.07 times 3B plus 0.06 B equals 1,350. And so I'm going to multiply those, and that comes out to be 0.21B plus 0.06B is 1,350. Adding my like terms, I have 0.27B equals 1,350. And we're going to divide both sides by 0.27. So 1,350 divided by 0.27 is 5,000. So she has 5,000 invested in B, and A is 3 times 5,000. So she has 15,000 invested in A, it looks like. $5,000 in B, and then A was 3 times B, so she has 15,000 in B. Okay, let's try the next one. These are fun little puzzles. So the next one says, if we have 2 drinks and 4 hamburgers cost $41, woo, that's a lot. And if 4 drinks and 5 hamburgers cost $58, find the cost of each. So we've got D's and H's. We'll say D's for drinks and H for hamburgers. So 2 drinks plus 4 hamburgers was 41. And 4 drinks plus 5 hamburgers was 58. So I'm going to use elimination, and we have row 1 and row 2, and I'm going to multiply row 1 by -2 to eliminate D. So a -2 times row 1 is a -4D minus 8H equals 82, -82, because it was a negative. And then I'm going to leave R2 as is, so 4D plus 5H equals 58. So my D's do cancel, and I have a negative, oops, that's H, not K. A -3H equals a -24. And if I divide by -3, I get H is 8. So I'm going to say 2D plus 4 times H is 8 is 41. So it looks like hamburgers are $8 each, and subtracting 32, and then dividing by 2, it looks like my drinks are $4.50 each. And my hamburgers are $8 each. Okay, the last 2 problems, 7 and 8. A little bit trickier. This one is a chemistry problem. So if you're taking chemistry, you might see something like this. It says, how many ounces of 30% hydrochloric acid solution and 80% hydrochloric acid solution must be mixed to get 10 ounces of 50% hydrochloric acid solution? So I'm going to call this one solution A and this one solution B. So we know when we add A and B, we have 10 ounces. We know that. And we know that A is a 30% solution. So it's 30% of this plus one that's 80% of B. And then the 10 ounces altogether is going to be a 50% of the 10. So we're definitely going to need some more of the 8 to strengthen the 30%er, because the 5 has to pull the 30 up and bring the 80 down, right? Okay, so we'll see how that works. And so this equals actually 5. Okay, so I am going to say A equals 10 minus B and substitute. And before I do that, I'm going to move everything over 2 by 100. actually just multiply by 10. So I've got 3A plus 8B equals 50. And then I know this. So 3 times 10 minus B plus 8B equals 50. And then I can distribute. And we have 30 minus 3B plus 8B equals 50. So 30 plus 5B equals 50. Subtract the 30, we have 5B equals 20, so B must be 4. So it must be 4 ounces, that's B, 4 ounces of the 80% hydrochloric acid. And so that means we're going to have 6 ounces of the 30%. So a little bit more of the 30% than the 80%. So we only want it to be 50. So on these, I definitely like to use substitution just because it's quick and easy to say A equals 10 minus B and then substitute in and then multiply by a 10 or 100 to get rid of my decimal. So let's look at the last one. So this one is going up and down the river. It says a boat on a river travels 20 miles downstream in only 2 hours. So downstream, they are going faster because they're going with the water. It takes the same boat 6 hours, so longer, to travel 12 miles upstream because it's slower. What are the speed of the boat and the speed of the current? Okay. So we have distance always equals rate times time. Okay. So if we can go 20 miles in whatever the rate is, we don't know, times 2 hours, and we are going faster in the downstream. So we have some kind of a current, right? Here. And then it takes the same boat, oopsie, to go 12 miles. And it takes them 6 hours at whatever speed in the current. And this time we're subtracting the current because the current is, then they're going upstream, the current is taken away from them. So this rate is really the boat speed. So distance equals rate times time. And actually, I should write this as 20 equals the boat plus the current equals for times 2 for the hours. And this one is 12 equals the boat minus the current times 6 hours. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 here. So this one actually equals 10 equals B plus C. And if I divide both sides by 6 here, I've got 2 equals B minus C. So that's actually good. So I'm just going to write my equations here. 10 equals B plus C, and 2 equals B minus C. Well, my C's cancel out when I add them, which is nice. And so we have 12 equals 2B. So B must be, the speedboat must be going 6 miles per hour. Regular. So the boat is 6 miles per hour. And if that's the case, then I can put it into one of the equations here. So 10 equals a 6 plus C. So C must equal 4. So the current must be 4 miles per hour. That one is definitely trickier because you have to know the distance equals rate times time. And the rate actually was a combined rate, right? Because when you're going downstream, you're gaining from the current is helping you, so it's adding to your speed. And when you're going upstream, it's taken away from your speed, so you have to subtract it. So that one's definitely extending your understanding a little bit. Catch me back for some other videos for the review. If you need help, and I'll reach out.